So, if you've been on the internet recently, I say recently, maybe a few weeks ago now, but if you've been on the internet, maybe you've seen a thing that went around called the Depixelizer, or the Depixelizer, or whatever it's called. It's an AI basically, which takes pixelated images, upscales them, and then re-downscales them to try and figure out what the pixel image would look like at non-pixely. And people, obviously immediately then wanted to put intentional pixel art through the AI to see how it would handle that, much to humorous results. So being a person with no original thoughts whatsoever, I decided to do the same thing with some classic portraits from Harvest Moon Back to Nature. So, who should we start with? Now, I did these on Thursday, maybe Friday, and I haven't looked into them since, so I don't really remember what they look like. Okay, let's get a picture of Ellie. So this is what Ellie looks like in Back to Nature. Obviously, she's a little pixely here because it's an old game. The pictures were grabbed at low resolutions, but that's roughly what she looks like. And then if I just grab the updated version, the new and improved HD version, lower it so I can actually see it, and then bam! This is what the Depixelizer thinks she should look like. How close do you reckon she got? I think Ellie was one of the candidates where I had to crop off the bottom bit, so I think it's no, not that one. I think it's more like it took from that sort of thing. But you get the idea. Yeah, it made a nice realistic woman out of Ellie. Okay, so let's look at some others. I think I pretty much did these for all the characters I could get my hands on. Except Anne didn't work. I tried my hardest, but it genuinely could never recognize a face from Anne. I couldn't get a single picture of Anne to work. So here we got Carter, the original design for Carter, not the remake Carter. And then if we do this, here's new Carter. This is what it thinks Carter looks like. They got his dress right. They got his sense of style. They got his haircut quite right. So on the face. Not they got the closed eyes, but I don't think he's as Asian as they seem to think he is, or as female. But who knows? Who's next? Cliff. Here's Cliff. I don't know what that pixel garbage on the side is, but that's Cliff. Good old Cliff. And then new and improved Cliff. Mick Jagger, I believe. Now, the nice one about this is, so if you remember Ellie, you could kind of tell that I had to crop her to her neck sort of thing. I didn't do that for Cliff, and you can tell because oh look, there's his arms on the side. Hey Leo Hart and hey Jack, how are you two doing today? So okay, one that I don't actually have, unfortunately, is Grey. So here's Doctor, or Trent as he's known later. One that I don't have, which was really good, is Grey, because I did it on a different computer, but I didn't switch the files over. I'll tell you more about that one when we get to Grey. But okay, so there's Doctor. He's looking a bit somber, looking a bit moody. And oh no, that's the wrong doctor. That's two of the same doctors. Oh yeah, I think I had to crop the doctor as well, which is why. Yeah, no. Here's the new and improved doctor. He's I don't know what he's been on some stuff, man. Something's hit him hard, you know, in this timeline. Just hanging in there, just terrified. Understandable. Yeah. They gave him quite a big note. I think this was another one where I had to crop. But yeah, so you could, you know, they gave him the white coat. That's nice. And I think that like big bit on his forehead, his like big forehead, is the stethoscope. Oh, it's not the stethoscope, but you know, his like, I don't know, Dr. Mario doctor thing. Excuse me. Who have we got next? Doug. Here's Doug. Changed him to Dudley in this game, interestingly enough. Oh, he was quite a chunky file, apparently. He's quite big. Right. And then we go over here. Ah. Doug, what a beautiful young man. He's an eligible candidate in this one. Everyone else, you know, turned doctor into some poor meth addict. Doug, he's quite a happy chappy, you know. Understandable. He's quite happy with his results. He's, you know, de-youthening. De-youthening. Surely that's what's going on. He's de-oldening. Took 20 years, oh yeah. So you don't really see much of it, but the AI doesn't work mustaches well. Who else has a mustache in Back to Nature? There's someone else who has a mustache in the game. It does horrifying results to them, but we'll get to them when we get to them. Here's Duke, the classy gentleman. And then here's New Duke. No, don't quite. Don't quite know what they were going for with this one. He's suffered quite a bit. Don't get where they were. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can kind of see. I think they were going for like the bow tie. It's the open mouth for some reason, because you can tell by like the side, like next to their neck, that I didn't crop this one. That's like the original Duke. But yeah, she's having quite her moment. New Duke. We already did Ellie, so we've got Gots next. Oh, going back to the small guy. And Gots too. A normal-ish looking person. Not entirely what I think. And you know what? No, I can kind of see that as a female Gots. It didn't quite. You can tell it didn't quite line up the face. You know, you can tell that I didn't crop it, but you can tell that he's going, okay, no, the whole picture is the face. And he did quite well considering, you know. It's like, this is more like somebody was taking Gotz's picture, and then she just kind of popped her head up, like right in front of the camera lens and photobombed it, and it like auto-focused on her, and you can kind of see that Gotz is like blurry in the background, but she like jumped in front of the camera, and it's hers now. Harris, original Harris. I don't know where these weird like pixel artifacts, I'm sure weren't there when I first downloaded the pictures. I definitely don't think they were on like when I put them in the AI. But oh, and then Harris is some like, you know, old rocker. I can see him being in a rock band from like the 70s or something. Not quite as Mick Jaggery as, was it Cliff, I think, earlier. But, you know, though he's kind of got that like, I don't know, you know that thing where like, when somebody has like chewing tobacco and they get like the hole in their mouth? He's had that done to him, poor Harris. But aside from that, you know, he's doing well. He's definitely aged a little bit, but he's clinging on to his youth. Harris is. And then here we go, my main man Jeff. How do they do my boy Jeff? The original Jeff. Oh, yeah, no, okay. So it's not that a character had a mustache, it's that it thought he had a mustache, and he really didn't. Well, no, he does have a mustache. He doesn't, however, have that mustache. Oh my god, Jeff, what did they do? They were so close. Like, they got the hair perfectly. They could get, like, the top half of the face, alright, and then his head just kind of dips in. Like Waluigi, and it never recovers. Oh. That's like halfway to being Jeff. They were so close to nailing him. And they just missed the mark right at the end by forgetting the rest of his face. Okay, I can't remember exactly the results for this one. But one thing I do remember about the AI is it doesn't work well with black people or people of any sort of like color other than white. I think it's because the AI was made by a Russian, so when they were getting like samples of people, they pretty much entirely got like Russian people. So when it encounters like people who are intended to be black, it just kind of goes, and there's like there was one that went around where like somebody just like a pixelized picture of Obama and it turned him white. So I don't remember exactly how Kai turns out, but okay, yeah. You see what they were going for? No, they completely missed the mark on that one, though. I like the this is like Ultra Remake Kai, where instead of having the bandana, he's just got purple hair. Oh gosh. Oh, hang on, did we do Grey or did I miss him? Oh no, we missed Grey. Whoops, I accidentally skipped him. So, let me show you what Grey looked like. Oh god, I completely forgot this Grey. Oh. Oh, he looks like a character from Cats. Oh. Okay, so there was an alternate Grey, which was really good as well. Like, that's pretty good. But I feel like the old Grey I had on my other computer was really good because. So if you remember Kai, how it went like, oh yeah, man, his hair's purple because he's got the bandana. Well, so obviously it doesn't work well with hats. But I think because the original Kai I used was from Friends of Mineral Town, it was more pixely or something. I don't know what they did, but his hairstyle basically was the hat, and it was like blue, yellow, and then blue on top, and it was weird seeing somebody have literal hat hair. Ah, Karen. The classic Karen. I like her new design. I really like her new design over her old one, you know. I was never a fan of her old design, but this is like her ultra new design is. Well, yeah, no, that's Karen. That's Karen in a few years, you know. That's actually, you know, golf claps for them. That's a good one. Well done, AI. That's all right. That's Karen after she's worked on your farm, living with you for a few years. That's Karen after a nice hard day of work at the farm. Good on you, AI. You did well on that one. Who's next? Oh, Mary was a difficult one as well. Mary took me quite a while to get working. I think I had to go with this portrait of her in the end. I tried to get like everyone's neutral portraits when like you first talked to him, but it didn't work with Mary. It didn't work at all with Anne. I don't know why. I just couldn't get Anne to work at all. Yeah, and no, Mary's like a weird. Hang on. Let me get someone else back. This is going to be very big, so don't get too frightened. It's Ghost Ellie. This is Ellie from earlier. This is Mary. Mary is just the ghost of Ellie. Oh my gosh. Ghost, maybe vampire. She looks like she's kind of got like, not quite vampire fangs, but she's like, she's glittered up her teeth for some reason. I'm not sure if teeth glitter is a thing. I guess grills, maybe. There's Ellie with who's gone very pale and put grills on. Oh, Potpourri is another one who... Okay, I don't actually know which one of these is Potpourri, so I might end up just showing you like 3 different pictures of regular Potpourri. Because, yeah, so some of the girls were difficult to get a hold of to work. Nope. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. Not quite Potpourri. Not quite. Okay, I don't know if it's specifically this picture it took it from, but I think my favourite thing about it is the guy's beard. That's Potpourri's breasts. it took Potpourri's breasts and went, that's a beard. And turned it into like his goatee beard. Oh god. Well, of course they got close with the pink hair, but they also kind of turned him into like, they gave him like Lomax training hoodie, like the pink hoodie. Okay, we've got our last few here, got our last couple. So here's Rick. Here's Rick, wonderful Rick, good old Rick. How do they do Rick? What does the AI see Rick as? Oh yeah, it's that's Thomas York from Radiohead, isn't it? Except it's a bit more Asian. And again, you can see that they've got Rick on the background, except also kind of like split in two. And then they got this happy chappy Rick. But you know what? I could, if they were doing like a live adaptation of Harvest Moon, and it was, you know, it was like a Japanese show. It was like a Japanese live adaptation of Harvest Moon that never came out of Japan. I could see this being Rick. I could see that being a Rick. And finally, let me just check I haven't missed anyone else. No, I think that's everybody. Finally, got Thomas, our loving mayor with the big old top hat. Don't think I had to crop him. We're sort of to find out. So last one, what does he think Thomas looks like? Oh god! Ah no! Oh, you can see what it was going for with the hat. Oh. That's too stylized. That's like too. That's very actually. That's very gourmet. Actually, thinking about it, that's very. That would make a good gourmet. Not so much a good Thomas. Good gourmet though. Just, you know, put the big hat on to cover his horrifying head. But that would be good. So those are the new friends of Mineral Town. So that's what a lot of the character portraits from. Actually, Back to Nature, I did try a couple from Friends of Mineral Town when like some characters couldn't work, but that's what they look like going through the Depixelizer AI.